Right. Boruto chapter 25, titled Those Girls. Cover page. Let me just say, I always start off talking about his art and all that, right? His anatomy is always off a lot of times. Feels like he only gets the anatomy right when he's drawing the female characters like Ada, Sarada, everybody else like that. Some of the kids, like younger kids. It's like when he gets everybody else, like people wearing baggy clothes and shit like that. I don't know, like their legs look small, their arms are long, the Shinju they look weird. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. So sometimes he gets his proportions right. He never used to draw Kid Boruto or like Damien. Damien doesn't get drawn like too weird with his proportions. So like he does the kids. Feels like when he has to draw somebody too tall, yeah, he can't do it. I don't know. But we get right into the chapter. It starts off with Konohamaru, Rin Moege, okay? So she's back. I've seen a lot of people commenting on this symbol right here and how this same symbol that Jorah has on his back, similar to a lot of other characters, like, well, not other characters, but the other Shinju and all that, right? They have this sort of symbol on them. So I've seen people make note of that. Yeah, it's really a thing. Okay, we all saw it. We noticed it. So they get Moegi out the tree, and she's here. There's no way so far to tell if her being inside of this tree had any sort of side effects due to her being, her DNA was merged with the Shinju and whatnot. We don't know what kind of effects that had on her. Okay, we don't know if it did anything at all. That's a popular headcanon fan theory sort of thing that, it's like a popular idea that the people who were sealed away might end up getting some sort of power or ability or something done to them, some sort of change done to their body because they were just like, merged kind of with the Shinju and the tree and all that, and connected to it at least, right? At the very least. But it might not happen. We don't know so far. Boruto's watching. So I had a question about this, right? Gaara, what the hell? What kind of sealing jutsu put Gaara into a coma? Okay, first of all, why the fuck is he in a coma? And Shinki, he's restored, so he might be actually walking around up and conscious and all that. The only problem he's gonna have is like the same problem Moege is gonna have with her, is that her chakra flow is like really slow right now. That's the only thing we know so far. So they had her say your overall condition is just like malnutrition. So maybe that's like a red herring. Maybe when she gets up and starts walking around, she's gonna have memories of like Matsuri. I don't know. She might get some of Matsuri's memories. She might have the power or the ability. I don't know. But we're gonna see more about that. So Shikamaru gets called by the elders. I don't know what they could be talking about. He was on a phone call with Kankuro, right? And he gets called in by the elders. I'm assuming they're still calling him about taking up the title of Hokage and whatnot, and probably what just recently happened in the village, which is kind of stupid because I don't know what they're trying to set up with the elders. They're gonna figure out he's working with Boruto or something like that. Like they're trying to make the pressure of him being Hokage substitute, temporary. They're trying to give him a lot of problems on the plate in terms of that. So they're kind of interjecting a little bit of Leaf Village politics, but it's not even enough. It shouldn't even be significant. Honestly, it feels like filler whenever they start talking about that sort of shit. Another thing I think that feels like filler is the existence of this whole Sarada Sumire, like having to, Sarada, like, and I understand it, right? I understand what they're doing. I understand what Sarada's saying in this chapter, basically. She claims that this whole time she was just ignoring her true feelings, and that's what was holding her back. And she believed that ignoring her feelings is what would make her strong, but in truth, that's what's making her weak and suppressing her, true power and whatnot. Like how, like what Yodo said. So they kind of parroted what Yodo said to Sarada earlier on, which is, by the way, I feel like Yodo saying this to Sarada is kind of stupid. Like, why would, first of all, there's a lot of problems with that, right? So let me go back to these other two panels I have. I took a picture of because Sarada's mentioning how, you know, back then she wasn't lying. She never really thought of Boruto. Now, Naruto was never a super heavy romance, story, and this is probably the heaviest romance they've given us for no reason. But Sarada's character was introduced kind of being always curious about Boruto. Okay, she comes home and says boys are so stupid, and she said, "Huh, was it Boruto again?" Because she has interest in Boruto, whatever you want to say that means. So her character was introduced like that back when they were in school, following Boruto around the village. You know what I'm saying? She knows enough about him, what he's gonna try to do today, what he did today, to come back home and complain about him all day to Sakura. And then at the end of the day, she would compare herself to him because they both have problems with their parents, their dad specifically. And that's why she said when it comes to dad, yeah, oh, totally, yeah. Like, yeah, and, Shanaro, whatever the hell her and Sakura say, the Shanaro, right? She said that in the other translation. But regardless, the point is, that's kind of the wrong thing to say. Especially since Sumire responds with the whole, like, I knew it the whole time. So if she knew it the whole time, then that means it was true. You were just lying back then also, right? But either way, that I feel like this being something a part of Sarada's like character arc, I feel like this was never that heavy of a part of her character arc. It wasn't that crucial. Like, she was never really questioning her ability to become Hokage. She was always confident she could become Hokage, and now all of a sudden they wrote it in that she had some sort of hesitation at a point where she thought her caring so much and obsessing over things that she cared about was stupid and silly. Do I have that panel here? I forgot what she said. She said it was like silly, right? Made me a complete loser, right? So her saying this and then saying that makes her wonder if she had any right to become Hokage is kind of countering her inspiration as Hokage, because Naruto was, he didn't care about, obsessing over things and, like, doing certain things no matter what and putting his heart on his sleeve and all that sort of shit. So her idea of Hokage already is opposite of this moment of hesitation they're writing her to have, where she thinks that she doesn't have that right or something like that, right? And I don't. When has she ever thought like that? They're writing it in now, so this, you can call this a retcon or something. I don't know, but I've never known her character to be like that. That's kind of stupid. I feel like her character's been going all over the place and she barely has a character. They're trying to make her whole thing this romance thing, and like, now all of a sudden, her accepting this, saying out loud that she likes Boruto, she'll be able to use her true power. Like, she didn't already unlock Mangekyo Sharingan, right? But anyway, I think that the whole situation's kind of stupid, okay? If I'm keeping it real. And that's all I have to say about it. So Ada's watching this whole thing, right? She's just spectating, listening on Sarada and Sumire's conversation. And she wants the sensory team to just patch her straight in, right? And it made me think, like, Shikamaru, he has to call Ino in and secretly give her a coded message to let her know, I want you to link up our minds and shit. But then, for Ada, I guess they're just constantly watching her, right? And she knows that. So she can just access the sensory unit unless they got a speaker in their house. Like, I don't know. So she just knows they're constantly watching her, so she can just turn around and start speaking out loud to the sensory unit. Okay? And I thought that's kind of weird, but they're not going to go into detail on that, but whatever. Maybe they're just constantly, they have one person 24/7 in rotation listening into her, but then that's kind of weird because her character, would she really want that shit that be like that? I'm pretty sure she would demand that not to be so. Like, she wants privacy and all that shit, right? She doesn't have cameras and guards in her house. Like, there's guards outside and certain people that come in and out and all that sort of shit. But I mean, the house is bugged. But anyway, whatever. I just thought that was kind of weird. Like, damn, she just turned around and started talking to them. But anyway, let's go on. So Himawari training with little Kurama. Little Kurama, he looks funny. He looks real funny, but I swear, a lot of people probably won't notice the little differences in art style and all that sort of shit, right? But I'm telling you, he would look different. Ikemoto has like a problem. I won't say a problem, but the way he draws like the animals' faces and all that, it's inconsistent sometimes, and sometimes they look a little weird. So he won't look like a he's not a dog, but he won't look like a fox. Foxes are kind of dogs, right? They're like basically dogs. So he won't look like the fox all the time, and his snout won't look like an animal. That's my only problem with his drawing of little Kurama. Other than that, little Kurama is done pretty good. But I think that them trying to emphasize her having to use her chakra to fight because she's not really like a tailed beast or a Jinchuriki. She's neither one, like something different, which they're not going to say yet, which is probably going to be like some embodiment, reincarnation of old Suzuki sort of thing, right? She's close to Kaguya, right? Half of the fan theory is already true from years and years ago, right? So, but then the way that they mention how she is different from an ordinary shinobi, the process in which Kurama was birthed inside of her, like, I thought Kurama was just saying that she had traces of her chakra inside of her, so Kurama was easily reborn inside of her. And since that part of her DNA, or whatever the traces of chakra, wherever they are at, since that's a thing for her, that's why her affinity is stronger with him currently than Naruto's was, because Naruto had him sealed inside of him. But then at the same time, Naruto was born from a Jinchuriki. He was born with whiskers. So Kurama's chakra would technically be a part of Naruto's baby body too, before he had the fox sealed inside of him, based on the same logic that Himawari has it, right? Same thing with Boruto. So what is it that they're trying to now write in to say that she is not really human, and she's more similar to Dora and him, like just a natural born tail beast, like they've expressed before? She's more like a natural born tail beast. So what is it specifically about that? Because wouldn't that make Naruto and then other Jinchuriki kids, well, maybe not all of them, because maybe, it's like a chance thing, or like it's a recessive thing that the chakra would stick to the genetics of the kid, right? But Naruto having whiskers, and more whiskers than his kids, meaning that the presence of the Jinchuriki is inside of him stronger, right? So I don't know how this would even make sense. And they're further removed from the Uzumaki bloodline, even though it is emerging of the Hyuga and Uzumaki, but it's still further removed. I don't know. It's too many questions, right? Because we know in Naruto, if you merge the bloodlines just a little bit, can go a long way, because it's like a dominant trait, right? So you could be a Uchiha 7 times removed from the main branch of the clan, and your Sharingan could still potentially be strong as fuck. Like, let's keep it real. So that's just how it works. But I still think that questioning of her, not like she's human, but not being too human. She's similar to other shit too. It should be true for Boruto as well, not even just because he has Momoshiki inside of him. But like I said, I mentioned this before in a separate video, right? Kind of just talking. This is my whole chapter thoughts review. I didn't do my computer was down. I didn't get the chance to do a Boruto video like I usually do it. So you're getting it like this, okay? You're kind of reading it with me, even though I just read it like not too long before I started recording this. But anyway. So he's basically trying to have her fight as an embodiment of chakra. And he's telling her to, instead of using your arm strength, use the chakra and put that inside your arm, and I'll fight with that to enhance your body. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure even back in the day, like the fundamentals of enhancing your physical body with the chakra meant that your physical body already had to be strong too. Not as strong as how, as the chakra's going to enhance it. Obviously, the chakra's still enhancing it, but you still got to be able to withstand that, right? I'm pretty sure that was a thing. You got to be able to withstand it to some degree. You got to put that training in. But for her to be able to jumpstart to this is also a crazy thing. Maybe Kurama wants her to rely on her regeneration. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. So, yeah, this is all kind of, it's a little weird. But like I've said before, I kind of like this concept slightly. Because I always thought, his kids should have this should be a thing, technically. But now it is a thing, but the way it's done, I'm not sitting too good on that part, right? Because it's kind of weird with the way Kurama's forcing stuff to try to progress super fast, because the writer himself is trying to make Himawari progress super fast. And I'm telling y'all, I said it before, they're going to end up trying to make Himawari go against Boruto later on when he turns into the inevitable Momoshiki that's going to be the new major threat to the future instead of Jura and all of them, because that might not be Himawari's big bad villain. But even if it is, Himawari might team up with Boruto to fight Jura. Who knows? It might be either one. I feel like, and I know just saying both possibilities doesn't really mean that, but it's always kind of one or the other with Boruto, bro. It's always one or the other. Like, Boruto's either gonna get taken over by Momoshiki, obviously, or he's not. Either way, they're gonna have that being dealt with. And then lo and behold, they had it being dealt with. He just didn't get taken over. And then I got something to say about that too. I'll talk about that later, okay? There's a couple of weird things surrounding that. I've spoken about both things in a separate video. I will have it leaked, not leaked. I'll have the link at the end of the video for you to look at and click on. I forgot what I titled it. The thumbnail's all blue, okay? It's a really blue thumbnail. You see it. You can't miss it. Yeah, he's trying to have her fight like Chakra in human form. Boruto's stalking. He's still watching over Himawari. I don't know how he's able to now be here now. The sensory team isn't picking up on him slightly. Kawaki isn't picking up on him. I guess Kawaki doesn't care, right? He knows he's walking around the village. Probably gonna see him talk to him next chapter. But so yeah, Boruto's watching her, and he starts to go into his own mind space similar to her. So they both are doing the trope that Naruto had in the same series. One of them's more literal and direct. The other one's kind of a parallel kind of situation. It's supposed to be similar, which is this one with Momoshiki being inside of Boruto. Himawari's situation, her dynamic with her inner demon, is literally the same exact one that Naruto had, because it's Kurama, okay? I don't know why. Let me go back and say this before I start talking about Boruto and what's his face. Now, Kurama, I feel like, especially when he told Himawari, I don't know, just figure it out on your own. And he had her fighting against a fucking Jinchuriki man. You know what I'm saying? He had her fighting against a Jinchuriki demon man, right? I feel like Kurama, they're making him too much of an asshole, because this is not what he would have done. He became friends with Naruto. He's still himself. He still has his personality where he speaks kind of harsh, and he's not going to act like he's all buddy with you. He's not speaking all kind and soft. He's still going to talk like he talks, stern and like rough and shit, right? But his actions and what he's saying is going to be different, like it was with Naruto. He's still speaking to Naruto the same way, calling him stupid, you dumb brat, blah, blah, blah. But then he starts telling him what he needs to know so they can both live and survive, because he's trying to really help Naruto now. Kurama telling Himawari in the past panel, like, I don't know, just figure it out on your own. And he just popped up behind her saying, I don't know how it popped up, but we're here now. So you got to fight and use my power. You just figure it out on your fucking own. I think that was stupid, because Kurama wouldn't do that. Based on the Kurama I don't think he would do that, especially because this is Naruto's kid. He got respect, and he really fucks with Naruto. Naruto's kids, who he knows Naruto would die trying to protect, like he basically fucking did, right? Or almost did, right? He knows that Naruto would not just want Himawari to go into battle about to die. I feel like Kurama would have took Himawari's body over. He would have been coaching her during that whole fight against Jura. He wouldn't have just said, fuck it, figure it out on your own, and let her almost die. That's kind of stupid. Even with him, like, being kind of neglectful in the training and being super vague and not, like, directly telling her things that for Naruto he can break down a scientific explanation and equation, even though he knows Naruto's an idiot, and he takes the time out to like simplify it and put it in layman's terms for Naruto. But you telling me he can't explain shit to his daughter thoroughly? And this is life or death out here, and he's been watching this whole fucking time, so he knows Jorah's been running amok. He knows Jorah's a problem. He knows about all this shit. So you telling me he's just sitting back chilling? Like, I'm tired, fucking get out. Like, this part is okay. Yes, I'm not saying it's not Kurama. I'm tired, we're done. And he just completely cuts you off. But the way he's kind of training her in like a relaxed, not serious, vague way, like, oh, you're gonna have to figure it out on your own, do it yourself. I feel like they're forcing that to be what he's saying. They're forcing him to do that so it can feel like, oh, Himawari has to do it all on her own. She's actually gaining this power on her own. That's what I said that before. I feel like they're forcing that. So they're ruining his, I'm not going to say they're completely ruining his character, but they're writing him out of character slightly to force the Himawari power journey thing that's going to happen in a rapid blink of the eye, right? She's just skipping the ninja training too. Now all of a sudden she's going to master chakra control, which is more simple than physical training. It's not going to take as long. You know, the way they're going to write it, she can just meditate. I don't like that. I don't like that. But you already know I don't like a lot of stuff about Boruto. So we're getting near the end of the chapter. Boruto, his mindscape. He visits Momoshiki on the inside. Okay. Says, yo, freeloader, as sulky as ever, I see. He says, I'm deeply despairing because you have failed to die yet again and keep on living. Keep going on living. So Momoshiki, like, and this is funny. Yeah, it's just like this is a natural outcome. I'm not really having any problems with Momoshiki being in this state of melancholy because he's just trapped eternally inside of Boruto's body. But this completely goes against what the fuck he was saying before, like how he's going to make Boruto suffer and all this other sort of shit. And I would have more points to like poke holes into, but I'm not remembering exactly what he told Boruto the day he resurrected him and even before then. Because the day he resurrected Boruto, he didn't say, damn it, now I'm stuck inside your body for eternity. He didn't, I don't remember him speaking like this was even a possibility. Now, like, what, 3 years passed by and he just gave up all hope of anything. And then also this would mean apparently he can't take Boruto's body over. He's seeking Momoshiki out on his own. Okay? Unable to take over your mind. And I've seen people having discrepancy over what he means by taking over his mind. Don't you understand that if Boruto's body and his mind, like no, everybody else, your mind is in your body. This is your body. It's your mind. If you had another person in mind and spirit inside of your head, they can move your mind out the way and take the wheel. That's the simple concept this is. I've seen people confused about that, but you know, I know everybody's not, but I've seen a lot of people confused about that. Can you believe it? Anyway, I digress. Listen. So he's saying reincarnation is not possible. And he's unable to take over Boruto's mind. So I got a couple things to say about this. Let me just talk, right? Just hear me rant it out for a second. So why was Boruto scared of his karma wigging out if Momoshiki can't take over his body? Why was he scared? That doesn't make any sense. It goes back to what I said before. Boruto's plan of having Kawaki appear to the Jorah fight so they can take him on together, which was really just Kawaki fighting Jorah alone so Boruto can recover the karma that was inevitably going to wig out, so then he can just pull back up and like teleport them away. That's so stupid. He could have teleported. It feels like he could have just like, he could have had Kawaki cause the disruption. He could have flew to where Konohamaru and the rest were, teleported them out while Kawaki's fighting Jorah on his own anyway. Why? Like, they did it all backwards. It's stupid. So anyway, right? So this means he can't take his body over. Why was he worried about his body getting taken over? In two situations, he fought Kawaki earlier in Two Blue Vortex, where he like encountered him. He starts holding his arm, flew away. And then now when Kawaki fought Jura, which I didn't think he would need karma for to fight Jura anyway. He was already putting some hands on him, fighting on par enough to like hold him back, as they say, right? That's what he was doing. I don't know why the fuck all of a sudden Boruto's worried about that, but at the same time, Momoshiki seems to contradict that. And then the reincarnation no longer possible, if I want to say something about that, right? And yeah, his soul and his mind resides inside of Boruto's body, right? That's the simple fact. I said in my other video too, where the fuck is Momoshiki's soul at? Momoshiki's soul should be inside of Boruto's conscious world as well. He should be somewhere, not Momoshiki, my bad, Kenshiki. Kenshiki should be somewhere up on another ridge. Talking. Boruto should be able to. I seen this a new one. I start to see people mentioning this shit now. I don't know if people seen my video and just don't give me credit. I don't know. Because I swear I've never seen anybody mention this too much. But if Boruto should be using Kenshiki's red weapons too. I seen somebody say that. I forgot who. I seen somebody make like a piece of art about that shit too. Like they put the pieces of art together, like Photoshop that shit from the anime. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea too. He should be able to do that. He should be able to make chakra weapons all day now. He should be able to use flying Rajin with his chakra weapons that he makes on his own. Think about it. If you really think about it, flying Rajin with the chakra weapons that he makes, perfect. His chakra's already in it. He wouldn't have to really view it into anything, depending on how long they last. But I'm sure his chakra reserves are super fucking huge. Now that he's like pseudo 100%, faux 100% Otsutsuki, And I'm starting to digress a little bit, right? So no reincarnation possible. I thought that possibly Boruto could use the Karma Seal, and if he unlocks the true potential of the Karma Seal, he can like separate his soul from his body, because that's what the karma does, right? It separates souls and does that sort of shit and moves them around. So how? I know Momoshiki himself can't reincarnate into Boruto's body, because also he can't take his mind over. He won't be able to reincarnate. He can't even take his body over for a minute and do some shit, is what he's saying, right? He just wants to be free and become nothing and die. Boruto wants him to help him out, and he's going to compensate him. Compensation for helping him out will be, I'll give you my body and you can have everything. So Boruto's either bluffing or he's stupid as fuck, right? So I thought this goes back into what he was just saying on the other page, like that he can no longer reincarnate. I thought Boruto possibly, if he mastered the Karma Seal, since it's the whole power of the Karma Seal, they mentioned a lot of powers it has. One of them is the ability to move souls and shit around and do that. Boruto, why wouldn't Boruto just make a simple plan of, what, I can give you either that death you want or I can give you a body. Boruto knows Amato. How come he wouldn't go to Amato, have him make a fake body, a fake vessel with no ninjutsu capability or some sort of shit like that? Maybe they're gonna give him the Akugane and all the ninjutsu because they're stupid too. But either way, they can give him a fake human body vessel like he's doing with his daughter. That he's making empty vessels that he's gonna instill a karma upon and inscribe her soul into, so she can live and be resurrected through that body he made with science, like the same type of clone technology, but probably even better because it's Boruto. That right, they're just gonna make it better. So he's using the same type of cloning genetic technology that Orochimaru will be playing with, but he's going to replicate his daughter's body. How come he couldn't just make like a fake Boruto clone body, minus the ninjutsu, or maybe the same shit? It could be a Boruto with white hair, and then he can just put, like, that could be a whole plan. Not even all the specifics I said, just the general plan of, okay, Momoshiki, I'll give you a body. Like, we're gonna give you a fake body. I'll have Mamato make a body. I'll put the karma in there and separate your soul from me and put you in there, and then you can have free will and do whatever you want. Like that, would that not interest him a little bit, since he's already like in this state of melancholy? Like, I just want to die. So Boruto offering him death or another body, but he's offering him his body. Why would he do that? That's stupid. Like I said, unless he's bluffing. Why would he do that? Because I feel like they're planning on making Himawari the one who can destroy Momoshiki. Himawari is going to be the one able to take down Momoshiki, okay? That's how they're going to write it to be. And all this year, more filler shit. Boruto himself probably doesn't know we like him, right? Oh, of course he doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. He might as well have a harem at this point. This is stupid. Like, he doesn't need to even have a harem. This is just dumb. Like, I feel like them. Like, I know some people like it because, you know, they're probably like, oh my god, they're probably gleeking over it. They're talking about what they find endearing about Boruto. I think it's just filler, honestly. It's just filler. We've known that Sarada likes Boruto. The character does. Even if they're not trying to paint it and show it into your face, throw it out there like they're doing now and make it a whole character arc that she had to like grow and learn from to accept her feelings that she like all of a sudden didn't know that she had because they wrote it to be like that, even though those panels I showed you earlier with how her character was kind of introduced was her being introduced, being interested in Boruto in one way or another the entire time before they were even on a squad. That was a part of her character, bro. That's what Kishimoto instilled in the character and is present throughout the Boruto series and in the Naruto Next Generations. You know, the first part of Boruto, not to Blue Vortex. Some of it's present throughout the whole time. Like when Boruto says, okay, I'll become your advisor or like your shadow Hokage like my dad is for like your dad is for my dad. And she was like, it's like there's been moments and shit where it's like, okay, yeah, you know that's what they're doing with the character. Like even if it's like a subtle thing or whatever, right? An off-screen thing. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Like how Sakura liked Sasuke all day. We always knew that. That was a thing. Okay. But it ended up being a thing later on. Like, you know, Kishimoto made it a real story. Made it part of the real story officially. The kids are part of the next generation, so on and so forth. Right? Anyway, I think this is stupid. Okay? This video is coming to an end. I gave y'all a good 30-minute Boruto video because in a minute, I made a video period. And I swear, I will have more on these other mangas stuff that I read. I will start making videos on anime too. I might just like little anime review episode thing until I start, you know, figuring something else out. Because I was reading Gachi Akuta. I might start you know, reacting to the anime episode. I was reading that shit when it first came out. So, you know, I went on a break. I let the chapters stack up. Guess I let it stack up for too long because now it is an anime. And I haven't been reading it anytime soon. I fell off. So, yeah, I'll pick that back up too, and I'll start reading that. All sorts of shit. But as far as Boruto goes, I think that's it I have to say. That's all I have to say about this. I mean, I said all I have to say. Boruto is going to become the worst possible future that Kashin Koji and everybody else did about and Himawari or Sarada. They're being set up to take him down. Sarada's being set up to take him down, or Himawari, or all of them together. Maybe they're gonna try to help him some way. Hey, I don't know. He says she's gonna give him his body too. Says I'll give you. That's another thing. I hope me talking about the other videos I'm gonna make didn't make you leave. Still talking about Boruto, right? Boruto saying I'll give you my body. That means it's a choice, or at least, yeah, it's a choice. Like he's either choosing not to resist it anymore, or there is no resistance. Momoshiki can't. He just simply can't take Boruto's body when he wants, and Boruto's going to just say, you know what, fuck it, I'll let you do that instead. You can't do it. I'm just gonna let you do it. So it's either way, one of those two. That's a choice. That's a fucking choice that Boruto's gonna have to make. So why were they pretending like the karma? I hate the plot points they use to make the story move forward in this, man. Like the whole villains like just going in and out the battles. So Jorah appears on the battlefield and he just leaves for no fucking reason. Or like Kawaki fights Jorah and then They're both standing there, and Jorah just lets them leave and teleport, even though Boruto had to charge up his flying Rajin that entire fucking time. Like, oh boy, it's ridiculous, man. I don't know. The enemies always just leave, they flee. They encounter the enemy, and they have to flee for no reason. There's never like a stake or anything else that's making them have to flee. They didn't have to leave because the radio told them that the Leaf Village was getting blown up by one of the other Shinju. And he said, "Oh, what are you gonna do now, Boruto? Sit here and dance with me, or go back home?" Like, they didn't act. None of that. There's nothing like that, bro. There's never anything like that. There's never any background casualties. I don't think Jorah is. They're gonna write him to never even threaten the village because they already tried to make him like such a philosopher that they said, "Oh, I'm going to make sure the bookshop stays intact." They could have had him say, "Bro, I said only the bookshop," and he blows up everything else and leaves only the bookshop standing there. So it's like the Pain, just like what happened with Pain, but there's only a bookshop standing there in the history archives or some shit like that. I don't know. That's just me ranting at this point, because I think this is stupid. Like him saying, "I'm going to give you my body," and the fact that he can just choose to do that. Why was it ever a fear that Momoshiki was going to forcibly take over? And why are all these stipulations so loose? Like Boruto's flying Rajin, oh, now I have to charge it up because this distance is really significant. But I have no problem teleporting in and out of a separate dimensional plane where I'm getting attacked by multiple Shinju and I'm trapped inside of a fucking rock tree formation, and I have to teleport back out before the Shinju eat me. And I'm also kind of nervous because this is the first time we've ever seen these creatures. Go back to the first chapters. Boruto got attacked by all the Shinju at the same time. And then I'll get the excuse for that was Jorah said, "Oh, you're lucky that our drive and instinct for killing you isn't that strong yet." Nigga, come on, bro. They were trying to kill him, though. He's the only one who wasn't trying to. The other ones were aiming for the jugular. Like, nah, I don't like this, man. It's kind of weird that they try to act like they weren't writing these other plot points to exist. Like, we know they're gonna have to explain this. What do you mean I'll give you my body? Why would you even offer this? Because that's dumb. And what do you think he's gonna do? Like I said, I think they want Sarada or Himawari to end up killing Boruto or fighting him when he transforms, right? But either way, it's like, oh man, the villains go in and out. They leave and come back, leave and come back. Jorah, I feel like they can just talk to Jorah. And they can just talk to him and get to some sort of like agreement, and he'll stop trying to kill people. The way they wrote the dude, like he's not even trying to blow up the Leaf Village. He's coming to speak to them and ask them about their feelings and shit. Like he's even said, like, I have no interest. You're not my enemy. I'm just here for this. So like what the fuck is this, man? What is this? But I'm gonna let y'all go, man. This is about to be a 40-minute Boruto video. Oh my god. I'm not editing this video. It's gonna be raw, butt naked.